everybody, it is Naki Kimari, your co-host for today, and I'd like to welcome you to your favorite show, African Woman Open Talk Show. Now just remember, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, as long as you are an African woman, we are talking right to you. Now before we get into what we're going to discuss in today's episode, we need to introduce the one and only main host of the show, Prophetess Teresa. Welcome, Mama.
Thank you so much, Naki, for having me today. I hope you enjoyed yourself in America,
Yes.
And why we are here today, it's because even in all these travels that we've been going around, we have realized that African women, they're all over the world.
Yes.
So we are not looking at the continent, we are looking at an African woman with the spirit of an African woman, And this is a woman who feels that the society, the color, the ethnics, you've been suppressed, depressed, desponded, disgraced for many years just because you're an African woman. And at some point, it has killed your confidence as an African woman. But we are here to tell you that, you know what? You can be the woman you want to be. The ethnics, the culture, the society should not silence you and should not shut your dream. Arise and shine, because God created you with his own image, and knowing that there's a purpose in you and for you, and there's a destiny for you, and it has to be fulfilled by you. Woman, you're on an assignment. I'm super excited because soon we're having Daughters of Zion.
Yes, we are. We're having it on the 30th. We're having it on the 30th of the next month. In May, it's going to be...
No, you are still high with America. We are talking of June.
Oh,
it will be on June 11th. I think you're confusing it with the marriage conference. The marriage conference will be this Saturday on the 30th of April.
Exactly.
But as for Daughters of Zion, it's going to be on the 11th of June. And where the Lord has given me a word for a woman to speak about a woman on an assignment, So how does a woman get into her assignment? But we're going to be speaking that later. But today we are continuing with where we left last time. Yeah. But what I was saying is that the main reason why we're here is to build confidence in a woman. It's to encourage you, because God has also lifted us from somewhere. And I believe when God lifts one woman, you are also meant to lift others. Make sure your hands are full by lifting other women. Don't put your hands down. Keep carrying your hands up and high above to carry some women with you.
Yep,
Yeah, we thank God for that.
Yes, so I'm so excited for today because in the last episode we were joined with one of my sisters and one of Prophet's daughters, Aika, who is an engineer. She discussed and she spoke about how in this episode we're going to speak about the story of Ruth and Naomi, which I think is a beautiful story that can help an African woman out there. So Prophet, can you please tell us a bit about this story of Ruth and Naomi?
First, I want you to know that I love the story because of a few things in it, and which I'll be touching one of those things. Ruth is a barrier breaker. And in this generation, we need women who are barrier breakers.
Yes, that's true.
You need to break all those barriers that blocks you from moving forward. And what is a barrier, by the way? When I looked at the dictionary, I looked at a few explanations here and there. It means something that blocks. It's a blockage.
Yes.
You want to move, there's a barrier. You either have to remove or you have to jump over it.
Yes.
So it depends with which route you want to take. But there are some you have to just get out of that car and pull that barricade out. But there are some you can say, this one, I'm just going to fly over it. It's not going to hold me. So Ruth and Naomi, we see it's a story, it's biblical, but it's a story that can help women to carry each other all the way. Because when I look at both women, they're superstars. Of course, it doesn't speak much about Naomi because Naomi is seen as a weak person. The fact that she lost her husband, Naomi lost the sons, but also Ruth lost her husband. But for Naomi, it might have been too much because you've lost a husband and you've lost two sons. So it's a heat of like,
Yes.
3 people.
Yes.
Pa.
Yeah.
But for Ruth, you've lost your husband. But at the same time, you can also say she's lost a father-in-law, she's lost a husband,
Yes.
and she's lost a brother-in-law. So both of them, they add into 3,
Yes.
3, 3.
Yes.
But of course, the pain of losing a husband and children, it's different from losing maybe a father-in-law, but depending on the relationship we had. Remember, we've been in a season where we've been speaking about pain. And we've been saying, if you go on my Facebook, you can listen to my preaching and my teachings, where I've been giving people, facts, or rather, power keys to help you walk through season of pain, your seasons of pains, because your seasons are not my seasons. And what you could call pain is not my pain. But all of us, we normally go through pain, and we say, no pain, no gain. Yes. So these 2 women, they're both in pain. And there's no gauge to weigh what kind of pain somebody's going through. I remember one time somebody saying, I had to go see a certain woman because she lost a brother, and after 2 years she lost a brother. But there's this other woman, she just lost a mother. So I was like, come on. Is there a gauge that you weigh the pain of somebody? You can't weigh. So we can't weigh the pain that was in Ruth. Neither can we weigh the pain that was in Naomi. But we know both women were in pain. But you can't live with that pain forever. Ruth had to break that pain. And so I call her barrier breaker. And she did not just break that pain by doing one thing. She had to break a lot of things along the way to be able to get somewhere. And today we can read about her and we can speak about her. So as a woman, you need to ask yourself, what legacy do I want to leave behind?
Exactly. Very important.
Because if you don't see the legacy you want to leave behind, then you don't have anything to motivate you to overcome that pain that you're going through.
That's true. That is very true. Oh.
So when I look at the word barrier here, it says, barrier is anything that blocks or stops you from getting to where you are going. This is how the dictionary describes it or defines it. Or it says it's something material that blocks is intent to block passage, a natural formation or structure that prevents or hinders movements or actions, something immaterial that impends or separates. So there can be material barriers. Sometimes it can be spiritual. Sometimes it can be your mind. You know the way I like talking about mental battles? Yeah. Do you know mental battles can be a blockage? So anyway, as women, we go through certain barriers. And a time and a season has come where we need to break them like Ruth did. Yes. And quickly, before we go to our break, I want to look at the story of Ruth and show you something. Yes. Ruth had to break through ethnics, the tribe. Remember, this woman is a Moabite.
Yes.
And here comes Naomi who says, I'm leaving. And Naomi says, where you go, I go. Where you die, I die.
Imagine.
So you're thinking, are you going to go to Bethlehem with Naomi and you're a Moabite and you're not appreciated there? Yes. Because in those days, the Israelites didn't want anything to do with the Moabites.
Wow.
So, but here comes Ruth saying, me, I'm going with you. She took the risk that I spoke about.
Yes.
Remember, I said the meaning of risk in this sense is that she took responsibility. Yes. She took the initiative. She sacrificed to go with Naomi. Because remember, she's young. She can decide to stay behind and get married again here in her village. But she said, no, where you go, I go. She remembered the covenant. Where you going, I'm going with you. Where you die, you die. Your people will be my people. So she had to break all these ethnics. She had to break the racial barriers and decide, I'm going with Naomi. Women, a time has come. Don't allow ethnics to hold you back. Don't allow your agenda to hold you back. Don't allow racial to hold you back. Thinking I'm black, I can't make it in State House. My dear child of God, you can make it. The Vice President of America, She is not any color. I don't even know what she is. She is just a woman of confidence.
Yes.
And look, there's a judge now who has breakthrough.
That's true.
The
I've seen
first
that.
black
Yes.
American judge in America, in the Supreme Court. So what are you telling me that is holding you? So read the story of Ruth and you see how Ruth had to break through all these ethnics, had to break through ratios, had to break through gender, had to break through even these religious things that hold us.
Yes.
Don't allow any religion to hold you from breaking through. Oh, my religion can't allow me to be a leader. Oh, I love Tanzania because the president is a Muslim and she's leading the Catholics, the Pentecostal, the Baptist, the Muslim.
Yes.
Hey, what are you going to do? She broke the barriers.
Yes.
So Ruth had to break the barriers. And when we come back, we're going to be talking more to you about it. So just remember to subscribe.
Yes, please remember to like, subscribe, comment. Please remember to put your notifications on so you can see whenever we have an episode. And don't forget to share as you're watching this. We will see you right after the break. Welcome back, viewers. I hope you have liked, commented, and subscribed. I don't know about you guys, but I have been so touched by the story of Ruth and Naomi. Now, before we went for the break, we were talking with Prophet about how Ruth was a barrier breaker. And one of the things that she did was she basically had to break the religious standards. You know, she had different beliefs, but she decided to follow Naomi, who had her own gods. Now, my Prophet, what does it take to do all of this? Because, you know, fighting religious barriers, it's not easy.
I mean, it's simple and clear. It just needs to take decision. Everything starts with choices followed by the right decision at the right time. And then you wear courage. When you wear courage and confidence, and that's why we are here to encourage a woman who feels like she can't break barriers. You need to take courage. But courage, it's not enough per se. You need to have a drive. And sometimes a drive comes through a mentor. Because I'm thinking that Naomi was a mentor to Ruth. Because why would she throw away her culture, her traditions, her religion, and just decide that I'm going to follow this woman? She must have seen the God in this woman. She must have seen a good character in this woman and felt like I can't go wrong by taking a risk to follow this person. And remember the risk she's taking, it's taking responsibility. This is my mother-in-law. She loved me when I was married to the son before the son died. So the fact that the son is dead, I am still part of her and she's part of me. So I don't think I'll lose anything by taking the courage. And another thing is you ought to believe in yourself and the decision that you're making. Because if you don't believe in the decision that you're taking, then along the way you will meet people and they will corrupt you. Because they will start looking at it like, are you sure? And the minute people come to you asking you, are you sure? Already something drops in your mind and you're like, did I make the right decision? And easily you can turn back along the way. And when you read the story of Ruth and Naomi, you see they walked. It was a very long journey from Moab going all the way to Bethlehem. They walked to arrive there. And remember, even as they're walking, Ruth doesn't have an idea that there's greatness waiting upon her. And even Naomi has no plans. See what she did. Do you know when Ruth entered in Bethlehem, apart from just breaking the barriers of religious, and breaking also ethnics, and breaking also racial, she also broke economic barriers. Because she looked at Naomi and she said, we can't continue suffering like this. There's a field there. I'm going to go and work in that field. I'm going to earn. Because she must have seen Naomi has no strength to work. But for her, she felt, I'm young. I can do it. So I feel like Ruth having Naomi motivated her. It gave her a drive to continue living and to continue working. Because remember, she's not been left with kids. So she must have adopted Naomi as a mother, because the story doesn't tell us whether she had a mother that she left in Moba. No, she doesn't talk about it. It doesn't talk about it. So most likely here she saw, I have a mother, and this can be my baby. I can take care of her. So if you want to move and go high, you need to pick something that can push you. And one of the things, as I've been speaking in my series, or rather in my teachings in the church, if you look at Facebook and Instagram, pain can also give you a drive.
That's true.
I believe the pain that was in Ruth gave her the drive to push through and make it happen.
So I'm sorry, but I just wanted to ask, so does this mean that as an African woman, when we have maybe a mentor or something, or someone that can drive us on the side of us, that we can go further than when we go alone on our journey?
100%. Actually, I really believe that if you want to go far, you got to go with somebody. But if you want to go first, go alone. But make sure you have the right mentor. You have the right person pushing you through. Because if you have the right person, then it's so easy for this person to push you to break certain barriers.
Yes.
You know, where people told you, you will never make it. This person who believes in you, if only you have one person who believes in you, you can really go far. But also you have to be ready to be told to move, and you move, and not feeling like, wow, can I do it?
Yeah.
And it's a problem with women. We are always thinking, can I? My mother failed, my sisters failed. How will I make it? What about if the world has been waiting for just you to break the barrier?
So how do you, per se, like you said that Ruth used her pain as something that drove her. How do you do that? How do you use your pain as something to drive you to get to where you're supposed to be?
It is when you see that the nature has its course, you will never resurrect your husband. The best you can do is to continue living.
Yes.
You know, I like giving this example. When I lost my mother and I was going for a conference, I was like, I had to sit and think for a few minutes, like, okay, so what do I do? The body is in Kenya, it's in a mortuary.
Yes.
She's gone. Whether I take the next flight, I'm not going to wake her up, because even God had spoken to me about it. God had prepared me. So I sat down there and thought, what would have happened? What would make my mother happy wherever she is right now in this situation that I am in? And I had her voice tell me, go and do what you're supposed to do. Me, I'm in peace. And where I've gone, it is lovely. But for you, you've been left here. I want you to keep on moving with your life. And I think it will please God and my mother to see me moving with life despite pain has come.
Yes.
You know, and I just went there and I did what I could do.
And it was powerful.
And it doesn't mean that I still don't have pain. I have pain, but you have to let go at some point and move forward, because nobody can replace your mother. At least a husband, you can even get married to another one, but of course it's never the same. But let's face reality. But, you know, so it's when you look at the positive side and you leave the negative part. So the negative I see in Ruth is thinking, what will people say? I've just lost a husband, and now I'm moving with Naomi, and I am young, and I can get married. But Ruth said, you know what? I'm breaking this barrier of what people think.
Yes.
And she could have been in a situation where she thinks, will people receive me there? The fact that they can't honor me as a mobile. And she said, I'm breaking this barrier. I'm shooting through. And she could have thought, so now we're in Bethlehem. What do we eat? Who can employ my mother-in-law at this age? And me, I'm a mobile. Where will I work?
Yes.
But she said, I'm going to break this barrier so other mobiles can come and work. She went to the field. She started working. So all women need to do is to stop thinking too much of what the society thinks, what the culture thinks. You know, the president of Tanzania would have said, no, I can't take this position that has come now. Because remember, she did not vie for it. It found her. It's favor that just found her. She could have just said, you know, I can't because I'm a Muslim and I'm a woman and I'm an African. And African women, we are not honored. But she did, what did she do? I'm breaking this barrier of Muslim ladies thinking that they can't be somebody. And I'm going to break this barrier of an African woman thinking that I can't be honored as a president. I don't need their honor. All I need is them to know I'm the president and I'm seated on that chair. So you're going to take what I say, or you leave it and you'll go look for your own country where you can live without honoring the law. And she moved. So you need to see what motivates you. What's the prize that is ahead of you? And then break the barriers and move forward. I really love the story of Ruth and Naomi. I can speak the whole day.
I honestly love it too, and you have opened my eyes to see it in a whole different way. This was beautiful. This was amazing. You guys, you heard it here. Be a barrier breaker. Now we are getting towards the end of today. I am so happy after all that we have discussed. Thank you so much, Prophet.
And as we wrap off, I just want to tell a woman who is there that don't let anything hold you back as long as you have a breath, as long as you can move, even one finger. We have seen people with no limbs walking. We have seen people move. Don't let this thing of feeling that I'm an African woman who will honor me as a minister, who will honor me as a prophetess, who will honor me as an apostle, who will honor me as a president, who tell me in this world God has set a pace for you. What do you want to be? We have engineers as women. They have gone before you to set the pace. I'm here as a prophet, as a woman. I've set a pace for you, and there's so many other prophets there. They've set a pace for you. You want to be a president? We have in Tanzania a woman who is African, grew up, schooled here, and she's a president. So tell me, we have pilots as women. We have doctors as women. We have MPs as women. We have a vice president as a woman. In America, we are not even talking about here, So you can be whatever you want to be. Please, a time has come. Make the right choice. Make the right decision at the right time. Move with courage, boldness. Arise with the God-given confidence. Don't move with the confidence that people are giving you. Move with godly confidence, divine confidence. And I am telling you, people will respect you if you respect yourself as a woman. Don't blame people for your failures. God has given you all what it takes. So arise and shine. Women, it is our time. It is our season.
Oh, yes, that was powerful. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to today's episode. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you next time. Don't forget to follow prophetess_Teresa on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you in the next episode.